over, I'm gonna isolate them by themselves, and then I'm gonna put them together in a little combo for you guys to practice, okay? First skill is basic waist hooping. I want you guys warming up in waist hooping, working that hoop up and down your body, moving around and dancing. I want you to practice from waist hooping, catching your hoop and going up into that fantasy. So you're gonna catch it at the side, turn your body, fantasy up and fantasy down, and then go back into your waist hoop. So practice that, make that nice and smooth and fluid. That's the first thing that I want you to do. The next skill that we're gonna work on is that halo up above our head. Remember, when you're doing a halo, you want your hands facing up. You're going to bring it up, grab and push, okay? This is just level 1 halo. And then we're gonna practice actually using our other hand, our non-dominant hand, to reach up inside the halo, catch it, and spin down. So I'm gonna reach up, catch, and spin down, okay? So those are 3 little things that you can actually practice together. Waist hoop, catch at the side, fantasy up into your halo, put your hand up, grabbing the inside, spin down, back into your waist hoop. Okay, vortexes. This is different for everybody depending on the direction that you hula hoop. I hula hoop counterclockwise to the left, so I'm gonna be using my right hand. You wanna have your hand against your back. You're gonna be grabbing your hoop, you're gonna be pulling it up above. Notice now my hand is on the outside. I'm going to take my other hand, grab on the inside, let go of that outside hand, and I'm gonna turn my hoop so that it comes towards the back of me as I bring my arm down, nice and straight. Then I'm gonna reach around back again, grab, let go of my left hand, swing the hoop up, make sure you kind of duck your head out of the direction. Hand again is on the outside, grab on the inside with the other hand, let go, turn that wrist so that the hoop goes towards the back of you, and then bring that arm down and straight in the back. If you're doing it in the other direction, if you hoop clockwise, you're gonna wanna use your left hand as your dominant hand. So your hand's gonna go against the back, you're gonna pull it up, hand goes on the outside of the hoop, grab on the inside with your non-dominant hand, grab, pull down, nice straight arm in the back, reach around back and grab in the back, let go, swing and spin it up, hand goes to the outside, grab on the inside, pull down in the back. And you want to practice these. Now it does help to do these while you are turning your body. It gives you extra time, okay? And you can actually, I encourage you guys to try going in both directions because it makes us better hoopers to change it up. So these are called vortexes. The next move that we're going to work on is a ground coin flip. So you're going to step inside your hoop and you're going to spin that hoop around so that it's touching your toes. You're going to have your hands on either side of the hoop, and depending, you can go in both directions. I'm going to go clockwise the first time, so I'm going to take my left hand and push it towards my belly, and then I'm going to grab with my right and then flip it back. So it's flipping around my body, around my toes. So it's in the front of the toes, the back of the toes, front, heel, front, heel. Now, this is level 1. Level 2 is actually flipping it, and really, I'm completely not touching the hoop. I'm pushing it into my body and then catching it on the other side. So it's flipping around my body and I'm catching. This is a ground coin flip. You can do this in both directions. Again, I would practice doing it in both directions, and also try doing it while you're turning or dancing, putting some music on and playing around with this. In class, we went over how to take this and bring it up off our body as we were turning. So as we're turning with our coin flip, we're gonna come up off our body, and then it's just gonna come back through our arm and down. I'll do that again. I'm bringing it up off my body, kind of like an escalator in a way. One arm escalator. Up, off my body, back down. And then, so the sequence that we're going to do for all of those moves, here we go. Waist tube, catch it at the hips, and then go into your fantasy up, into your halo, and then into your fantasy down, catch, spin it down, back into your waist tube. We're gonna go into our vortex, up, vortex. As many times as you want, practice that move while turning, and then bring it down into your ground coin flip, and then bring that hoop up and off and back down. Do this little combo as many times as you want. And then bring it back up into waist tube. All right, so that's the first half of what we learned. The next couple of moves that we learned, knee breaks, your favorite. So if you remember, it doesn't matter what hand you start with because you're going to be using both hands. I want your thumb on the outside, so it's an inside grip. You're going to be bringing that hoop across, and as you're bringing it across your body, you're going to be lifting your knee up. Now, do we want our knee kind of facing down, or do we want it kind of facing up? You want to try to bring it up as high as you possibly can, because essentially you're hooking your hoop onto that knee, okay? So you want to kind of have it pinched right here at your hip bone. So when we go to do this, you're bringing it across, you're going to lift your knee up, but then that's not all. That's not the whole move. You're going to lift your knee up, out, and then back over. So it's essentially breaking the flow of the hoop and pushing it back to the same side that it was started. So up, out, over, up, out, over, up, out, over. Notice, is this hand involved at all? No. So opposite knee of the hand that you're using. I'm just putting this out of the way to show you I'm not using this hand at all. All right? And then you can go around back and try the other side. You don't want to just stay with one side. Want to make sure that we're trying with both sides. Now, you can kind of put this into a little combo. Break, around, back. Break, around, back. Some of you felt like this was a hard move, so we talked about our lovely cheats where I'm not going to actually let go in my hand. I'm going to just keep that hand there. The move still kind of looks the same, and really people won't notice that you're hanging onto your hoop. All right, so that is knee breaks. Then we went into what's called vertical passing. So vertical passing is the same thing as horizontal passing, except it's in the vertical plane. So we want to start with our thumbs away in the front. We're going to bring our thumbs together and then away. So together and away. This is level 1, vertical passing. And remember, we said we could keep our hands really close together, or we can make them bigger. Or really close together. And remember, we can always change directions to mix it up. And we also said level 2 was going under the leg. So remember too, thumbs are still away underneath. Thumbs together, thumbs away, thumbs together, thumbs away. All right, we also did what's called a leg fold. So I'll show you in different directions. But with a leg fold, you're going to extend your leg. The hoop is going to come kind of mid-thigh. You want your palm facing up because you're literally going to just flip your hoop over. So you're taking it palm facing up and you're flipping your thumb. So as I make contact with my leg, I'm going to flip that thumb and then catch with the other hand. Now, some of you guys made some awesome recommendations about flipping it back over. So catching, flipping, catching, flipping. Also pay attention to your foot. See how it kind of touched my hoop at that time? You want to make sure that your hoop isn't going to touch your foot. So that's kind of where you line up the hoop on your leg depending on your hoop size. So if you have a really bigger hoop, you're going to want it to be closer to your body. If you have a smaller hoop, you're going to be wanting it to be farther away so that you have that clearance. All right, I really like going into my leg folds from a helicopter position. So a helicopter is thumbs away, flipping your thumb down, grabbing in the back, and then pulling it, flipping it, grabbing it away. See, because my hand is naturally in that palm up position. So let me show you what I like to do. So here's my helicopter around my body, and then I'm going to extend that leg and flip back, okay? If you're doing passing, it's the opposite of a helicopter, so my thumb is actually down with the passing, so that's not going to be in the right position. I'd have to like awkwardly try to flip it and then flip it over. So play around with those leg folds. All right, basic move that all of you know, but I want you to kind of try to like put it into your flow somehow, is the kick, catch, flip. So kick, catch, flip it back. And then we worked on, one of your more challenging moves too is called a skip out. Again, this comes from waist hooping. So since I hoop to the left, I'm going to be using my right hand. I'm going to put my hand against my back. I'm going to let that hoop roll over the back of my hand. Eventually, when I'm ready, I'm going to grab that hoop. I'm going to step out with the opposite foot, okay, of the hand that has my hoop. And then as I'm turning my body, so I'm stepping out with that foot, as I'm turning my body, I'm going to swing the other foot out and then bring the hoop around. So let me show that to you again. I'm going to grab that hoop against my back, step out, swing around. Let me do it again. In a more skip out fashion, for those of you that hoop to the right, you're going to be using your left hand. Again, the same thing. You're going to grab your hoop, step out with the opposite foot, turn, step out, and go into your passing. Again, this is not my best side, so bear with me. Skip out in that direction. All right. Also, just basic isolations. Make sure you're practicing these in front of a mirror. You want your hand at the 12 o'clock point. You're going to go to the 9 o'clock point. Now notice, my face wants to stay right in the middle of the hoop the whole time, and the hoop is kind of close to my body. So I'm at 12, 9, 6, nice straight arm, 3 o'clock. At this point, I can't go any higher, so I'm going to open my hand and push up as I grab the hoop and swing it over to the 9 o'clock point. 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, swing up and over. Practice these in front of the mirrors. Remember, this is not going around your hand. Your arm is what is going around in a circle. So it's actually moving, my axis is my shoulder, not my hand. All right, when you do these, make sure that you're practicing with both hands. So my left-handed people, you're going to go clockwise to 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and then over. Remember, in class, we talked about just practicing moving our hands from top over the back of the knuckles to the inside grip, the top of the knuckles. So I'm moving my thumb down and then my thumb up. So we practiced just that rollover exchange, okay? And we practiced just doing that upper part. We said that looked really kind of cool, just doing the upper half of the circle. All right, and when you do that, you want to do it with both hands. So it's starting with my palm. I'm going to open my hand up. It's going to roll over the back of the knuckles, and then I'm going to grab with my thumb down. Roll over the back of my knuckles, thumb up. Roll over the back of my knuckles, thumb down. All right, so those are our isolations and kind of a warm-up to get that nice transition at the top of the isolation over the back of our hands. All right, then let's see. Some other things that we did was a vertical vortex. So we talked about a horizontal vortex earlier. A vertical vortex is an up and down vortex, and it's kind of like an isolation too. So if you start at the 12 o'clock point, as I get to the 9 o'clock point, I'm going to start ducking my head into the hoop. And then when it's down at the 6 o'clock point, my whole upper body is on the inside of the hoop. At this point, I'm gonna transfer hands, so I'm gonna grab with the other hand, let go, and then I'm gonna start, as it hits the 3 o'clock point, I'm gonna start standing up and pulling my head out when it gets back to the 12 o'clock point. So I'm grabbing, changing hands, 9 o'clock, ducking in. As it rotates down to the 6 o'clock, I'm all the way in, switching hands, grabbing, letting go, swinging that hand across to the 3 o'clock point, starting to duck out. 12 o'clock, so let me do it a little faster. That is our vertical vortex. And sometimes I like to do a little barrel roll at the bottom just to kind of make it a little fun. All right. Then we have what's called the isolating vortex. So you're going to get inside your hula hoop. And with an isolating vortex, it's essentially going to be in a horizontal position, but you're just reaching around and grabbing the outside of the hoop. So I'm grabbing kind of in the front, and then I'm grabbing in the back. This looks really, really pretty when you're doing some turns. Okay, so working your turns and your feet work, passing that hoop from hand to hand. And remember, you can always change directions when you're doing this move. So that's an isolating vortex. All right, that was all of the fall. I'm going to do another video that's going to cover our spring lessons. Happy hooping!